everyone, welcome back. Happy to have you as always. I hope you are doing well today. We're going to be talking about Abbey Fickley again because those of you who would have seen my last video on her know that her ex-partner, baby daddy, his mom and aunt spoke out about the allegations that Abbey kept bringing forth. They kind of got to a point where it was enough's enough and we're gonna say something. And although it's a couple weeks out, they came out with a part 2 and I really wanted to watch it, so I figured why don't we just watch it together? And they've also released a couple shorts, quite a few shorts, that go deeper into explaining, I guess, more allegations that are coming, people trying to discredit them and the whole 9 yards. So I want to take a look at what else they have to say after the initial wave of backlash and go from there. Let's go. So quickly before we get started, I usually have a kitty here, but he's gone. We got Minnie on display still. And we call out influencers for their crappy, terrible, awful behaviors on this channel in hopes to bring some form of transparency, accountability back to social media. So if that sounds interesting, entertaining, or whatever the case for you, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and ring the bell so you never miss a future video, and join the discussion in calling out these people. Now, what's really interesting to me, given this whole Abbey Fickley thing, is recently, in the last couple days, I've had an influx on my video of Abbey's supporters. And what's really comical is it's so blatantly obvious that most of them are only taking Abbey's side, or sorry, not taking Abbey's side, obviously they're her supporters, are only hearing Abbey's side without even anything. Nothing else. It's obvious that they didn't watch the interview with DCP. It's obvious that they didn't actually watch what Gina and Mimi had to say in the first video. The most recent one, for example, she commented 4 times, girl, you're doing too much, but go off, I guess. She came in saying, did you even bother watching Abbey's 3-part series? You're just taking their side. How do you know that Abbey's lying and she's not lying? And it's hilarious to me because you just stop and pause and say, how do you know that Abbey's not lying? And the most ironic thing in all of this is she admitted in that 3-part series, for those who were paying attention, that her entire platform has been a lie. She's a liar, an admitted liar. Her social media platform is a lie. She said it out of her mouth. So why would you believe her and anything she has to say? And also considering who has something to lose in this game, Abbey has everything to lose. So her lying and saying all this defamatory stuff and basically trying to do damage control in a really not intelligent PR standpoint way says it all. And then this person went on to say, she only came out with her 3-part series explaining her side of things after Bobby went on the podcast and trashed her and aired all this stuff that she never shared. What did he say that wasn't already public knowledge? He didn't bring anything new to the table. He brought a new perspective, but he didn't share any tea or dish anything out. They literally said that in the beginning of the interview. So it's really obvious that these people aren't watching the entire story. They're just going off of believe me bro receipts from Abbey. You're absolutely right. These 2 women could be lying just to ruin Abbey's career, just to ruin her life, to get her deplatformed. They could be lying and spilling all this crap, but why would they? Why would they risk that? Why would they risk a defamation case? I don't think they would. And for them coming on, which I saw one of their shorts last night or something like that, for them coming on and saying all this stuff, they're still waking up, going to their 9 to 5 tomorrow. They have no reason to come on and lie or embellish or exaggerate or anything. And arguably, as some people have pointed out, everybody's wrong in this situation. Just take it offline. Just stop, right? But people also have to realize that Abbey has been trashing these people, giving backhanded insults and stuff like that for years now. They have stayed silent. How long is someone supposed to stay silent while having their name dragged through the mud before they're allowed to say something and defend themselves? But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's not okay. And I guess now Abbey is threatening the lawsuit and threatening this and that and the other. I don't even know what has been going on with Abbey. I haven't been paying attention or keeping up. And I think that her Reddit page got taken down, if I'm not mistaken, the one that was active, because I couldn't find it, and I saw a couple posts when I was looking for what has Abbey been doing. She also released a video addressing Reddit or reading her Reddit or something like that. So maybe we can also take a look at that, because ridiculous. But I do want to see what Gina and Mimi have to say, because I'm interested in it and I'm a nosy bish. And I would like to hear what they have to say. So this one is a little bit shorter. I am going to speed it up a little bit, but I really appreciate how they're kind of just here clocking Abbey's behavior. They're not really sharing much of anything. They're just calling her out on her bullshit. And it's funny to me that that's not acceptable to Abbey's fans. Okay, let me move me.
To start off by saying, a lot of people in the comments have mentioned that I'm not her mother, so I should really just shut up and stay out of it. And I do get that, because I try really hard to make sure I stay in my lane. But I just want everybody to realize, and remember here, this is a child that we're talking about when she was in preschool at age 4. The other grandma and I would take turns picking her up from preschool. My son worked a 9 to 5. At one point, I picked her up from preschool, and she said to me, "Can you pick me up every day instead of the other grandma picking me up?" And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because you look like a mom, and my other grandma looks like a grandma. And all the other kids have a mom pick them up. I'm the only one that has a grandma pick me up." We know that.
That is so sad. Holy moly, that breaks my heart. Preschool, 3-4 years old. And that's very eloquent of her to say at 3-4 years old. Even 5-6. "Oh, can you pick me up because that you look like a mom?" Oh my gosh, that's so freaking heartbreaking. And for the people trashing Bobby, being like, "Look at him fighting back his yawns. He's definitely still using. And oh my God, he didn't raise her. He's a deadbeat." Like, but he's working 9 to 5 and he's using the resources he has to help care for his daughter in an affordable, sustainable way. Why would you not ask your mom? If your mom was available, like, all the mothers there, if your mom was available to pick your kids up every day after school and bring them home, would you not ask her to do that? This whole like grandparents aren't allowed to be involved and help out with the kids. It's just a wild argument to have, I guess. I don't know. Wild ride. Anyway, that's a really sad way to open this video. Holy moly. Poor M. Oh my gosh.
Grandmas pick kids up from school everywhere, but that was just her perception because her preschool was very small.
She's been embarrassed from early on.
Right. That incident, it was just a life-changing moment for me. I realized that I'm not just a grandma that's helping. I was filling in as the mother role, and I think that's
why she calls you mom.
Yeah.
Or did, at least
she
for a
did
long
call me
time.
mom for a lot of years. To see that little kid be heartbroken over the fact that she didn't have a mom in her life just changed my whole perspective of everything. Another thing is a lot of the stuff that the person in question says is that my son paying for extracurriculars is inconsistent. The reason that's so ridiculous is because she's asking for things like she wants M's cell phone paid for.
Oh, well, yeah, we did.
Right. For one, M, yeah, she has a cell phone with a data plan, like, you know, regular cell phone. Does the person in question pay for that? She does pay for the service plan every month. M also has an iPad that has data on it. It's the same, anybody that does it for their kids, it's the same cost as a phone line.
Same plan.
The same plan, it's right. So my son pays for the iPad data, and then the person in question pays for the phone service plan. It's the same price. But those are the things like she leaves out context when she goes online and says, his payments for blah, blah, blah are inconsistent.
She leaves context out of literally everything. She is so vague with her word salad BS all the time and only gives certain pieces to make herself look like the victim and everyone else look like the villain around her. She is a queen at leaving out crucial pieces of context and making her little minions think that she's the woe is me little old victim who dug herself into this. And another comment I got was like, how dare you shame a mom who clawed her way out of this and is present in her kids' lives and say, okay, 4 or 5 years old. was not present in her child's life. It's been a few years now, but for the beginning of this little girl's life, she was not there. And yes, she was battling addiction. Fine. She was going off getting treatment, but she was also going off and partying and going off and doing her own freaking thing instead of prioritizing her daughter. And then comes back and all of a sudden wants to be the primary parent with a kid that she has zero relationship with. This kid doesn't know her mom. She doesn't trust her mom at that point in time. But ultimately, I don't think anyone is shaming Abbey for getting sober, allegedly. You know, people are alleging that she's still abusing other substances, but nobody's shaming her for getting sober and clawing her way out of that. Good for her. I've given her that kudos many a times on my channel since beginning to cover her, because that is a hard struggle. And it is great that she was able to claw her way out of that. Nobody's shaming her for that. To the person who commented on my last video, it was really weird. Really weird. I can't believe you got a sober single mom. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, just because you're a single mom doesn't mean you're above criticism. Especially if you're a public figure, you aren't above criticism at all. It doesn't matter if you're a sober single mom. It doesn't matter if you're married with kids. It doesn't matter. You aren't above criticism if you're going to plaster harmful, toxic things to the internet. And just because people offer constructive criticism or criticize what you're posting doesn't mean they're hating you. It means that what you're doing doesn't sit well with people, and that's okay. And the fact that a lot of people are so disconnected in that and come here and they're like, oh, you're just hating on her. Oh, you're just this. Oh, it's weird. Like, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not that freaking deep. It's not that deep, guys. Why are you making it that deep? You don't know Abbey. She's not going to pick you. You're doing the exact same thing just to me, right? You're trying to discredit me despite having done all of the research, watched all of the videos, including her 3-part word salad ridiculousness. It's weird that they don't realize that they're doing the exact same thing, right? Is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. My brain's a little woo right now. This is my second thing filming today, so I'm like a little all over the place.
He's not paying you for the phone plan because he pays for the iPad, and that's just the way that it is. And to be honest, if we go to court about either one of those things, neither one of those things are considered a necessity. Putting a roof over the kid's head, feeding the kid, buying the kid clothes, those are all things that are necessities. I don't really even think you can include a phone plan for an 11-year-old child as part of a necessity.
I wanted to touch on too about how she dogs Bobby so badly for his child support that he gets from her.
Right.
You're basically degrading any female who also gets child support.
You're minimizing every other mother on the planet that receives child
Everybody who receives child support, just you shouldn't pay it, or dad shouldn't pay it either. Because let's not forget, you were a deadbeat for 3 years. You were nowhere to be found, didn't pay $1 for that kid for 3 years.
Yes.
So then what did she do? Paid child support for a couple months and then stop paying it?
Yes.
Consider it reimbursement for the 3 years that you were off doing God only knows what, instead of being at home taking care of your child.
Absolutely. Somebody had asked in the questions why Bobby didn't take her for child support when she was missing. The lawyer had instructed him several times, please do this, it's going to be important, you're going to be happy that you did it down the line. I think I mentioned before, she didn't have any money, she didn't have a place to live, she was in and out of rehab, in and out of halfway houses. He was just hopeful that she would get her shit together. So he was just trying to not put any more burdens on her. He did at one point sue the grandparents for child support because his lawyer at the time said if they want to fight for the role of parent, then they need to assume the responsibility of a parent. That got denied by the courts because the other grandparents only had temporary custody.
It was never meant to be a full-time thing.
It was never meant to be, a permanent custody order. If it had changed from temporary to permanent, then in fact he would have been awarded child support from them. A lot of people online have also asked about what their allegations were to try to get custody off of Bobby when the person in question was MIA. So if you look on Allegheny County Family Court website, all of this is public record. Anyone can look it up. The other grandparents made allegations against my son. They had actual motions filed in court for a judge to hear this. When the child comes back from dad's house and goes to the other grandparent's house, she refuses, a 3-year-old, refuses to drink white milk. She'll only drink chocolate milk.
It's funny even when you say that they did that.
I don't think people are going to believe me when they
and
hear
the cheap
it.
blue drink.
Yes. So their complaints were...
Imagine trying to claim abuse and we need full custody because the child refuses to drink anything other than chocolate milk. That is honestly unbelievable. I don't blame her for thinking nobody's gonna believe her. That is nuts. Imagine having absolutely nothing on someone and you go after them for that. Holy freaking moly.
That my son gave her chocolate milk instead of white milk. Their other complaint was when I had dropped my granddaughter off to them that she had a bottle full of a cheap blue drink. Meanwhile, it was just Gatorade. It was Gatorade.
Which is not cheap.
Yeah, they filed a court motion saying the other grandma
Or illegal. It's not illegal.
No.
From the woman who was serving her high schooler champagne cocktails.
Correct. Absolutely.
Which is not blue Gatorade, though. Right. Don't you dare come with that cheap blue Gatorade.
Right.
But champagne cocktails.
Absolutely. Those are okay for a 15-year-old. Yeah. The moral compass is
the
so
hypocrisy runs deep.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. That's so projecty, and oh my God. Yeah, the hypocrisy runs deep very clearly. Gosh.
And the other allegations was that my son let M, as a toddler, in August, the summer heat, sleep in a diaper. How dare he? That he wasn't putting pajamas on her. And their proof of this was the fact that when they tried to put pajamas on this toddler, that she threw a temper tantrum.
If the tantrum was too much for you, you should have given her back.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Not taking
Actually, it's funny you bring that up because that reminds me of something that they also asked for in court, that we send her over to them always with freshly washed hair because the other grandma could not get down on her hands and knees to wash the toddler's hair in the bathtub.
Zanny Granny. She's probably too drunk to get back up. That's why.
So, yes, we had to make sure her hair was freshly washed every time she went to the other grandparents because the other grandma could not get up and down off the floor. This is the stuff that they brought to court to try to get this baby off of my son.
And they were probably laughed at.
They were absolutely laughed at. The judge had scolded them multiple times for
wasting his time.
Yeah,
they don't like when you do that.
Judge. Yeah,
they don't like when you waste their time.
Please
pull up the docket.
Pull it up. Actually, if we do another video for any reason, I'll try to get them printed out. The other thing that we want to touch on is the person in question made mention she has minions in the Reddit.
Oh yeah. She lives in the Reddit chat.
Her saying that she has minions doing recon work is wild. That right there is evidence that she has never really been in custody court because her saying she's taken that to the judge, that's a complete joke. If she thinks any judge is giving her any time for her to go over her diary notes.
They got too many cases and too much serious shit to worry about. You think people are talking bad about you on the internet. People have been talking bad about you on the internet since day one.
Correct.
It's not our fault.
They funnel you through court like cattle. It's like you have a few minutes.
Especially the family courts.
Especially the family courts. Boom.
So for us to continue to make videos, we can. Do we want to? Not exactly. But the bottom line, the purpose, the point, the reason we're taking the time to do this, take that baby off the internet and you won't ever hear from us again.
Correct.
Stop running your mouth, take that baby off the internet, our foot comes off your neck.
Yeah.
And not a minute sooner.
And if you don't want to stop running your mouth, I am completely confident that you and I would be willing to have an in-person discussion with her.
Absolutely.
She could bring up what her issues are and we could give you our view on it.
Calmly.
Yeah, the reason she doesn't know how court works and she thinks she's going to be able to take the Reddit in there is because
she's only been there in a red jumpsuit.
Correct. She's never been to family court to fight for her daughter. Anything that's happened through the courts thus far.
Isn't that one thing that she said, though? Didn't she say, like, yeah, I showed up to family court and he didn't? Or am I getting my influencers confused? Because I really very well could be, but I feel like Abby has said in the past that she has showed up to family court. So this is actually wild that they're saying that. Again, just another lie to add to the list, I guess.
With her and my son, whether it be child support or custody, has all been over the phone hearings with either court officers or mediators. We haven't actually seen a judge for anything. A judge has signed off on different things they've agreed on, but we've never argued any points of this case in front of a judge yet. She doesn't know how court works because when my son fought her parents for custody, she stopped showing up, which is how she lost her custody.
There is court next week, so she's about to find out next week.
Right. And court next week is for her saying that my son is in contempt of court for violating the non-disparagement agreement, and my son saying that she's in contempt of court for violating the agreement to not have M's image on the internet.
Right. Not just an emoji.
Messy. Yikes. I'm anxious to see how that court filing goes because I don't know what she's going to bring to court. I mean, she could try and bring her Reddit stuff, whatever. I think that's probably why the Reddit is shut down right now that I'm thinking about it. But it's wild to me that she says that she's taking him to court for the non-disparaging of each party when he wasn't at all disparaging, yet she was court ordered to take M offline and refuses to do that and still exposes her in really nasty ways despite her being court ordered to take her offline, right? In my opinion, taking a kid offline means not showing them at all anymore. But Abby just throws an emoji over her face or whatever and still shows her prepubescent daughter in a tank top and short shorts. Like, it's just gross. And I feel like she's grasping at straws for something to attack Bobby with. And I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Yikes. That's going to be messy.
Over the face.
Correct.
That's a loophole.
Yeah, it's showing her body from behind, showing her in, little tiny clothes, giving her voice, recording her when she's sick, which is completely disgusting. Like, leave the poor baby alone when she's sick.
Yeah.
Give her a
Zero
shred of privacy.
Zero privacy.
It's crazy. At one point, the other grandparents, when my son was fighting them for custody, or they were fighting him for custody, they had a private investigator following myself and my son. What they were trying to get out of, I don't even know, but the private investigator could not bring forth a single stitch of evidence against me or my son. There was nothing useful for him in court after they followed us around from 2 to 4 months. I don't know exactly when it started, but I mean, if a private investigator had followed the other grandparents around, now that would have been interesting. That would have been worthwhile.
Zanny Granny wouldn't have been pleased.
No, Zanny Granny would have been
because
real
her
upset.
dad has, maybe still has a whole ass girlfriend.
Correct.
While married to Zanny Granny.
So while these people are actively trying to take my granddaughter off of my son, the other grandfather is
Taco night with the girlfriend.
Correct. And that's because the person in question and her father shared devices and, like, I guess, iCloud
information
stuff
or something.
when the person in question was in
They
high
were supposed
school.
logged into an iPad or something.
Right.
Their iMessages were synced.
So sometimes the person in question gets messages that are meant for her father still on her device, which is how she found out that her dad's mistress was telling the dad to bring
cheese and wine.
Cheese and
for
red
taco
wine
night.
for taco night. So the person in question called me, asking me,
Not good.
what should we do with, what do I do? Do I tell my mom?
But he's the most amazing man ever.
Correct.
On a
He puts
pedestal.
him on a pedestal. Right. So,
He called the police on you and cheats on your mom.
Correct.
So he's a snitch and a pig.
There
being
you go.
honest.
And he's a pastor at the
And
local
he's
church.
a pastor at the church.
So he is active.
Of course he is. Of course he is. So he's also probably a predator.
Counseling other couples with their
Jesus.
marital problems or infidelity scenarios while he has a whole ass girlfriend and they do taco night.
The hypocrisy
It's-
from.
right.
Yeah.
It's
Taught her well.
Right. It's one life they live.
And then to say that's her, she knows about it, didn't tell her mom,
Didn't tell her mom,
and that's
correct.
her father's only form of happiness for having to deal with Zanny Granny. He deserves that.
Correct. The other grandparents, every single fender bender they've ever been in,
Oh,
everyone. The other grandma makes a huge lawsuit out of it.
her neck hurts
Yeah.
immediately.
Something
Every
hurts
time.
every time.
That's
I
how
don't
she's
know-
been at that boot on her foot for 2 years.
There you go.
She was the painkillers.
I don't know anybody that every single time you've had a tiny little fender bender,
Her neck's broke.
you have to sue somebody. And again, this is all public record. These parents that she puts on a pedestal, they also got charged with tax evasion. So, like,
Oh, I forgot about that.
these people aren't perfect by any means.
And neither is she.
Right.
Or
when-
as much as she
before-
claims to be.
Right. Before you go deciding you want to air somebody else's bullshit,
Don't forget about what bullshit we know.
correct. And you want to play spin doctor and leave out context and then add in what makes it sound good for
We
your
didn't even
narrative.
get to the siblings yet.
Right.
Plenty of content here. Plenty.
Right. There's a reason why you don't see siblings hang out with her, socialize with her. My granddaughter has spent next to zero time other than holidays and family birthdays with her cousins. Why?
I am being so for real right now, and I've been covering her for a couple years now, and I genuinely didn't know that she had any siblings. Does she have a brother? Maybe that's come across my brain once in the past, but yeah, I did not know she had siblings and nieces and nephews. Wow.
Why does your sister not hang out with you? Why does your brother not come around? Somebody explain to
there
me
is a
why this
brother
family
and
is
a
so
sister.
disjointed. I don't get it.
It's a major difference for us too because ours is the complete opposite.
Correct.
For
The
that,
person in question used to rave about how much she loved being a part of our family functions. Our family gets together and does big Christmas parties. We do the haunted hay. We do the haunted truly hayride every year.
Mhm.
There's a large group of people that are exes and that we all get together and do
Yeah.
stuff for the holidays. Her family doesn't do that. It's a shame that they don't, but the person in question was always welcome to come to our family functions
Until
and
now,
enjoy our
obviously.
family
Until
traditions.
now.
And she ruined that for herself.
Right.
She would have honestly been welcome, even though Bobby has moved on with another partner and they have a house together. She would have still been welcome.
Right.
We do that a lot.
I mean, I show up.
Right.
That's the same thing. I mean, I don't know. That kind of stuff just doesn't matter to us. There
Right.
doesn't need to be any animosity or tension. It's everybody gets along fine
Yes.
until they don't.
Yeah.
My unsolicited advice to Abby is just go to rehab. Check
Yes.
yourself in for 30 days, come out fresh with a new chip and start over because this is not what you're doing now is not working. They're calling you out for the use, the Adderall, the manic episodes, the highest dose of Lexapro, whatever it is that you need to do to get through your day. Instead of going across the country to bang dope and the rehab counselor, check yourself in somewhere local. 30 days, get in, get out, get it wrapped up and over with, and start fresh is the only chance that you are going to have when we're done with you to salvage what you have out there right now. And really the only other option is take her off the internet.
Yeah,
If you want our
yes.
foot off your neck, take her off the internet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Take that baby off the internet. Stop talking bad about my son and the rest of the family.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a comeback. We'll play Eye of the Tiger for you. We will. We will play Eye of the Tiger for you.
We'll do a whole video about it.
Yes.
Check yourself in, get some help, come back fresh.
Yeah, I think everybody would love to see it.
I would love to see it, to be honest. I would love to see it. I wish we had a champagne cocktail to cheers to that.
I know.
We should have got our champagne.
We need to head to P.F. Chang's.
Holy freaking moly. Okay, so that was a lot. Wow, that was a lot. Let me get pulled up here. The shorts. Unpaid bills is what this one's called.
Hello.
Just checking in, letting everyone know we are fully aware that we are being accused of harassment. That couldn't be any further from the truth. This certain individual that is commenting #harassment really has no proof of anything like that happening, because if she did, she would have called the police on us and actually got us in trouble for harassment, which she hasn't been able to do because it's simply not happening. She's trying to gain some attention, trying to get some traffic going to her page, trying to make things spin doctor.
Yeah,
she's trying to
spin
things around so that, obviously to make us look bad, which we don't care either way. Bobby has no idea what we are going to talk about. He finds out in the video just like you guys do. His girlfriend doesn't chime in, doesn't make comments, doesn't comment on social media, has no actual interaction with this person in real life.
Right.
So she's naming certain people by name that really truly have nothing to do with this situation.
Correct.
So just want to let you guys know that we are aware of it, and we are working on another video because there's more to this story. So
yeah,
keep an eye out for that. We will let everyone know when it's coming up, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, if she had any proof or any receipts, she would take it to the police. She'd be screaming victim. She also made a statement about she has to pay everybody's bills.
Again,
she
made
doesn't
the statement
even pay her child support. She filed for a reduction, and in between now and then, she has not made a single payment. So, bitch, whose bills are you paying? Because you're not even paying your own. You're not even paying the credit card that sued you. So, yeah, she's basically just repeatedly telling lies so that everybody keeps tuning back in for the drama.
And really, it's just helping
She's very good at deflecting.
her because she is getting attention from it.
Yeah,
so
it's drumming up engagement.
anything you see, I wouldn't engage, because she's essentially trying to make money off of the whole situation still. So
right, we're watching her channel die in real time. So she's hanging on with bloody fingernails to whatever shreds of
salvage whatever she has. But,
yeah.
Anyway, just a quick little thing from us. So we will see you guys soon with episode 3. Soon.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Hi guys.
Hello. We're here to address some stuff that has been posted today. We want to give a response to it and how it makes absolutely no sense as per usual. So we'll start off with Spin Doctor in the Spin Lab. Spin it up. So we want to start off by saying that Abby has referenced Gina in multiple ways. Some lady, a stranger, removed from the family. Sometimes she calls you Aunt Gina.
Sometimes.
When in fact the truth is that my granddaughter, M, calls her Aunt Gina.
Yes.
Right.
My child and Abby's child share DNA. They
Yes.
are cousins.
Yes.
Which makes me her aunt.
Correct.
Just to clarify. There was that, and there was also...
well, not only that, let's not forget that between the time that M was 1.5 and 5 years old, you spent more time with that
had her
child,
more than her mother did.
Hands-on, physically, just through helping Bobby babysit. So you spent more time with that kid in those 3 years than her mother did.
Very
so
true.
for her to say that you're not part of this family and you don't get to say so, that's kind of BS.
Some more truths, though. Hi, guys.
Hello. We're here to address some stuff that has been posted today.
Okay, go ahead.
So the other thing that we want to address is the therapy issue. Abby wants to keep saying that Bobby has consistently outright refused to agree to therapy. That has never been true. When she presented therapy as a possibility and wanting therapy for M, my son's next question was, why do you think she needs therapy? If you tell me that you're taking your child to the emergency room, I'm going to say, why?
Right.
What happened?
And she wouldn't respond,
Correct.
which is what then prompted
the
court
stuff.
said.
Right.
And 4 months ago, the court said, okay, the kid, let's agree the
Therapy's
kid's
now
an
court ordered,
option.
essentially.
And she still hasn't had her go.
Yeah, there's
She's been able to go. There's never been a fight about her going.
Yeah, so that was just another bullshit lie then. She has been court ordered to go. So now does that mean that Abby's in contempt of court? We can just tack that on to the next court hearing. But it's so clear that's the only disagreement that they were having. Disagreement. And it wasn't even a full-blown disagreement. It wasn't even Bobby being like, no, she's not going to therapy. No, that's bullshit. No, blah, 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 blah. My kid's never expressed that she wants to go to therapy. I don't think she needs therapy. Can you tell me why she needs therapy? And we'll discuss, right? Again, I talked about that in my original coverage on I believe the DCP interview and stuff. I go a little bit more into depth with that. But the fact that now for 4 months it's been court ordered and Abbey still hasn't taken the steps to go ahead and sign her kid up for therapy is wild.
Right. But now she won't.
Yeah. So what would happen is she would say, I want her to go to therapy. And Bobby would go, why? That'd be the end of the discussion. Didn't hear from him again. She'd bring it up a few weeks later. Hey, I want her to go to therapy. And Bobby would say, okay, but I want to know what behaviors you're noticing that you think warrants therapy. I'm just wondering what's wrong, what you think is wrong with the kid that she needs some help with. Would never respond, never answered any of it. So after that happened a few times, she just took it straight to court and said he is refusing to agree to therapy. He never outright refused for M to go. The conversation never went past the why, because she would never respond.
And real quick, while we're on the court stuff, she claims in the most recent video that she never brought it up to the courts about us making videos. But in the newest court order, which we'll try to attach to this or whatever,
Right.
it said they had to break it down for her that we were not violating any type of court order. So back again, like everybody always calls her out for, was it a court order? Today it was. Tomorrow it's not going to be.
Right.
3 days ago, yes it was, and now all of a sudden it's not. Never consistent.
And here's what she's trying to say now. She's trying to say, I never added Gina and Jade to the court order. I couldn't possibly do that. You can't even do that. Yeah, because you tried and your lawyer told you can't do this.
Former lawyer. No.
Former lawyer, because she fired her lawyer because she didn't get away in court.
That's next.
But what actually happened was she tried to get Bobby in trouble for our videos. So when we say that she tried to add us on to the court order, that's what we mean.
Right.
She tried to get Bobby held in contempt by using our videos as part of the evidence and she wanted the court order extended to us. That just can't be done. But that's what she was hoping for in court.
Okay, go ahead.
So the other thing that we want to address is the therapy issue. Abbey wants to keep saying that Bobby has So one of the other things that we want to address is
what happened in court.
Yeah, so they had a court hearing about 2.5-3 weeks ago. The hearing officer that presided over the hearing said that she would return her decision within a few weeks. The decision came out last week, and Bobby is not held in contempt for doing the DCP podcast. In turn, we are not held responsible. We can't be held to the same disparagement clause that they have agreed to as part of their custody order. There were a few other things listed in there. That court order, because it's public record, and you can find it on the Allegheny County Family Court website, we're going to try to attach it to this video so that everybody can see what was requested of both of them and how it played out. So Bobby wasn't held in contempt, but Bobby was also requesting that the courts basically set up like black and white parameters about what M's image is actually defined as, because Abbey puts the emoji over her face. Bobby wants the child completely removed off the internet. Bobby's stance is your image is not just your facial features, it's your body, it's your voice.
So he did technically lose that part because she found the loophole of putting the emoji on her face, but that is being appealed
right
immediately. And then also the hearing officer, even in so many words, telling him without telling him, said, I can only rule on these things.
Right.
So
hearing in front of a hearing officer goes a little bit differently than it would in front of a family court judge. A hearing officer is given kind of like a checklist of things that they go over, and they, based off that checklist, they rule one way or another. So the hearing officer, did say at one point, I can only make a decision and rule on certain things. So I'm wondering if the judge will have more power to make this, set up some black and white parameters that will help keep my granddaughter safe and not put her little body all over the internet. So because Abbey didn't get her way in court with the contempt, it looks like she fired her lawyer. That's also part of the public record. ChatGPT Barb has been let go. So sometimes when people don't get their way, they go looking for another lawyer. We've seen this happen in our last custody hearing, where the parents went through 3 different lawyers over the course of 2 years, 3 years. Okay. So one of the other things. So we also want to let you know that we've been given a heads up
that this was coming, this was going to happen. Not only that it was going to come and going to happen, but information was being falsified and planned out ahead of time. Right. So I think that was probably, I don't know what really it's just a continuous word salad with the spin doctor parts mixed in.
Right.
Nothing she said was anything new. Nothing she said, aside from reading the Reddit page, we know she's in the Reddit. Right. She has outed herself too many times, and it's not us who dox her or say her address. That's been on the Reddit page 10 times before we were even in the Reddit page and knew about the Reddit page.
Correct.
This information has been going on long before we were ever involved in speaking with the Reddit fam, as I like to call them. So that was another nonsense claim. The crap she mentioned about the fucking drug test or whatnot, you can't go in with a prescription and say, oh yeah, drug test me, I'm clean. That's not the issue. The issue is that you abuse. You can't say, okay, yeah, I'm on Divitrol, it's in my system, here's my prescription for it. Oh yeah, I smoke weed, here's my card for it. Oh yeah, I take Adderall, here's my prescription for it. That doesn't mean you can abuse it.
Right. And not only that, the other thing was, the person that let the Reddit know that Abby's working on falsifying some kind of proof or document or verification or whatever, that person has also basically let us know. And
the leak came from inside the chat.
Correct. And not the Reddit chat. Not the Reddit chat.
We'll leave it at that. What else did you say on that?
So we think that.
So even her friends are turning on her. Yikes. Yikes.
This new thing that she's doing where she wants to respond to the Reddit comments, she's probably going to use her fake evidence at some point in there. That's the only thing we could think of.
Right.
The person that gave us the information was also kind of vague, but they did let us know that they didn't want to out their source and cause any drama in their own life. They just thought what she's doing is wrong, and they couldn't. They just have a good conscience. They don't want to see us done wrong, and they know that she's planning faking some stuff. So I don't know what that's going to be. I guess we'll all find out together.
Couldn't care less.
Yep. So we also want to let you know that
next thing we wanted to bring up. Someone in the comments who may or may not know me in real life, probably not because their comments are so vague, want to keep calling me an abuser. If you're going to talk your shit, do it correctly. I don't have a PFA on my record. I have 12. I too, at one point in my life, just like my nephew, had someone who liked to manipulate the court system. It wasn't even my first husband. It wasn't even Bobby's uncle.
Right.
So that whole narrative about Gina abused Bobby's uncle or whatever, someone in their family, number one, it's not true. So if you're going to talk your shit, do it correctly. It wasn't one PFA, it was 12. So do with that information what you will, because I don't care.
Yeah, anybody that knows about PFAs or about the system will tell you, when somebody files for a PFA, the way it works in Allegheny County in Pennsylvania is you file for a PFA, it gives you emergency protection. If you file on a Friday, that covers the weekend. If you file on a weeknight, that covers till 7 a.m. the next morning. And the next morning you will have to go down and file for a 10-day PFA, in which case you'll have a hearing.
12 PFAs, not one of them stuck.
Not one of these PFAs that was lodged against her actually became a long-term PFA. So any family court lawyer or judge will tell you, when you see a pattern of somebody
abusing the system,
the same person repeatedly filing a PFA but not following through with it, filing a PFA but not following through with it, and doing it over and over and over 12 times, then this person isn't in fear for their life, especially. It doesn't matter.
Which brings me to the next point. We have nothing to hide and nothing to lose.
Correct.
So you can dig up whatever dirt you want. You can try to find it. We're not ashamed of anything. We're not embarrassed of anything.
When we say nothing to lose, in the sense that, like,
truly,
we're not trying to build or create some kind of social media empire.
No.
And
we're getting up and going to work the next day.
Correct.
None of it matters to us.
So we have no reason to build any fake narrative because we don't have
nothing to hide.
Yeah. We're not making any social media money. None of that's happening. So as it stands right now, she's the only one that has something to lose. She's trying to hold on to her platforms and hold on to her little bit of internet fame. But as for us, we don't care. We're, like she said, we're going to wake up and clock in tomorrow anyways and come to work. We're literally
go
just
about life
truly
unbothered.
Truly unbothered.
Yes.
But we're trying to right some wrongs for some people that have been done wrong. And we're just using our voice for that.
Next thing we wanted to Mother's Day. Let's discuss.
Yeah, we want to discuss Mother's Day because Abby made a video stating that her child had to fend for herself on Mother's Day.
Which was such poor acting. Correct. And like, so obviously, do it again. Do it again. I want to film. Yeah. Right. So terrible.
So the crazy part is, I took my granddaughter and her friend out the day before Mother's Day and let them pick out flowers for their moms. This is a tradition that my granddaughter and I have had since Abby came back into her life. We always go pick out flowers. I don't do it because I personally want to buy Abby something and I want to see her get a gift. It is because I want my granddaughter to feel the joy of being able to pick out something for her mom and have some pride about her decision and be able to show her mom, look, this is what I picked for you. So I just think it was it shows her character to act as if we just left my granddaughter high and dry on a day that she should have a gift for her parent. We made sure that she had something. And
she doesn't fend for herself in any way, shape, or form.
By no means. I mean, I make a big deal about it this year like I do every year. Hey, it's Mother's Day, let's go pick this. It's the same thing we do every year. It's a tradition. So, yeah.
And the sleeping on the couch thing really pissed me off too.
I agree.
She has a bad back. Let her sleep on the fucking couch.
So
here's the difference. Look at you. God damn.
But here's the crazy part. For years before I slept on the couch, I slept on the hardwood floor because that's what was making my back feel better. I don't know if there's anything really wrong with my back. I've been to the doctors. They say that I have the normal or average amount of arthritis for somebody my age. So I don't know.
Your big old age.
Yeah, right.
I'm 12 years older than her. My big old age is crazy. I'm 12
Thank
years
you.
older.
Right. But no, my back's screwed up. I don't really know what's wrong with it. Something about when I can't lay flat. I can't lay flat on a mattress. I can lay flat on a hardwood floor. I mean, does everybody want to hear all the specifics on why?
No.
I prop myself up. I need 2 big pillows and 1 little square pillow. I prop it up in the corner. I lay on an angle and my head can't tilt backwards because I also have BPPV. If you know about the ear crystals, I get the vertigo thing. But yes, the corner nook of the couch is the only way I get consistent
don't worry about where
sleep.
she's sleeping. Don't worry about where she's sleeping.
It's so weird that somebody brings that up.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if she's trying to say that I can't afford a bed or that because Bobby's in a bed and I'm
hogging
on the couch.
The whole every bedroom.
If Bobby could give me his young 30-year-old back, he would. I'm a 50-year-old woman. I have a bad back. Let it go.
Mother.
What a weird thing to cling to. She actually brought that up. What a weird thing. What?
Mother's Day. Let's discuss.
Yeah, we want to discuss Mother's Day because Abby made a video stating that her child had to fend for herself on Mother's Day.
Which was such poor acting. Correct. And like, so obviously.
Okay, that was just a double post. Wow. Okay. I just really quickly wanted to take a look at those shorts because I saw the one where she was trying to discredit Gina and be like, you have 4 PFAs against you. And it's like, no, that's actually bullshit. And that's all it ever is. It's like, I can't do bad. Look how bad these people are doing. But like these people, and 2 wrongs don't make a right, right? Regardless of their crap, Abbey has still done bad things or lied or whatever the case may be. And just because they've done bad things, it doesn't, or if, right, doesn't mean that what you did is any less bad just because they've done bad things or they have skeletons or whatever the case may be. And it same vice versa. That same goes for everyone, right? This whole trying to deflect and make the other party look bad because you don't want to take accountability for your actions is just very immature. It's a very immature way of thinking and being. And to a certain extent, like, I can empathize with Abbey having these people come on and trash her and stuff like that, especially because she's seemingly a really, really insecure person. I get that. It's not nice to be exposed. It's not nice to whatever, but there's a really simple solution to that. Don't be a POS. You know, don't defame other people. Don't trash talk other people for years and years and not expect them to stand up for themselves eventually. You know, everyone has their breaking point. So just because they waited this long and they're coming and shooting straight facts, it's like, oh no, because look how bad they are. No, that doesn't work. It's not a valid argument, and it doesn't make all your wrongdoings better just because whatever you try to spin, that's just a pure deflection. But that's all I got for you guys for this video. It ended up being considerably longer than I thought it was going to be, considering that first video was only 16 minutes long. But I was curious as to what they had to say more. I know it's a little bit of older news, but I wanted to watch it and I wanted to watch it with you guys. So I figured, why not, you know? But thank you so much for joining me today for the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you peace out. If you're interested in more Abbey, what's going on, I have covered her 3-part series. I've covered the interview with Bobby and a lot of other things. So I'll make sure to link them down below and a couple on the end screen here. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.